Lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. David is representing the California American Legion. He is the top dog with them. He is the commander for the entire state of California. Please welcome David Brambilla.
Hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, David. Thank you. You can all be seated. We just are so grateful that you're all here this morning. I know it's a tough thing to do, get up so early in the morning and get together, but I hope today you make some new friends, that you learn some information. We've got some incredible exhibitors that are stationed over here. They've got lots of different things that they want to share with you, so stick around afterwards. But we're going to get things rolling, and I want to properly introduce our MC. John Wagenen has been a true friend of the Chamber. He's a business owner as well as a dear friend to be able to help you with your finances. That doesn't mean he's going to pay your bills, but he's going to show you exactly what to do when you have the bills, and he looks at your income and he helps streamline some things for you. If you will listen to what he says, well, today during the session here, he's not going to talk about this, so you need to listen to what he says here so that we can stay on schedule. But if you listen to his advice, I can guarantee you will be very pleased with what transpires. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Wagenen.
All right, good morning. Good morning. We can do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. So we have a small but mighty crowd today, so I'm going to call on all of you to have a little energy in here. So I don't want to have to create the energy up here, so we're gonna do the wave. No. We're gonna have, you know what today is?
Thursday.
It's Boss's Day. It's Boss's Day. Courtney, it's Boss's Day. All right. Hey, it's my turn.
Okay, boss.
Yeah, Boss's Day. My turn. Everybody grab a seat. Time to be quiet. We're going to go through. We have a couple hours worth of stuff. Should be done by noon. No problem. All right. So we're going to do one more time. Good morning, Corona. Good morning. All right, a little better. Okay. My boss told me to have a good day. So I went home. I told my boss that I wanted an increase in my paycheck. So the next month the font was larger. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Fine. Welcome everybody to October's Good Morning Corona. We got a jam. Hey! Quiet! Man! I feel like I'm at home. Nobody listens. All right. So we've got an amazing speaker today. We will have our keynote addressed by our CEO of the county. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be great. We're going to enjoy that. We're going to honor milestone members, new members. We have a lot going on, and to keep us on track, I will say who's on deck. When I say you're on deck, go to my right, your left, line up, so we can keep this party going. On deck is Chad Miller. On deck is Paul Bender-Badesha with Express Employment Professionals. I skipped right over the boss there. Yeah, there you go. And then on deck will be Chad Miller. So as you know, sponsorship makes it possible for the Corona Chamber to host monthly events like this. So this morning we are proud to welcome Express Employment Professionals as our valued sponsor. They're dedicated to strengthening the community by connecting people with meaningful career opportunities and helping them find the right talent. On a personal note, I've known Paul Bender for probably 10, 12 years. She's an amazing person, stands up for people in the community, and is always giving of her time graciously. Sometimes I think she's crazy how much time she gives to other causes, but hey, she's amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, Paul Bender-Badesha and Marla Herrera. Video.
Really focus on temporary help. We went from about 200 million in the early 90s to over $1 billion in 1999.
It doesn't matter what your product is. It does not matter what your service is. You have to have the great people if you're going to be successful.
When we get them a job, either temp or perm, it'd be exciting because we know we're helping somebody.
Profit's always been a byproduct. It's never been our goal.
We tell them, follow the system and you'll always be successful.
The services that we provide are not unique. You can't patent the kind of service that we provide. Express is different because of that culture.
And our culture has really been driven by purpose. And the purpose has been to find people good jobs and find good companies, good people.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marla Herrera, and I'm the office manager at Express Employment Professionals here in Corona. And at Express Employment, we don't just fill positions. We partner with our clients to make sure their business runs smoothly and efficiently. We understand that challenges you face every day, from hiring the right people to staying compliant and protecting your business. Our team works hard so you don't have to worry about the details, and we always have your back. We care about your success because when you succeed, our community succeeds. That's why we're proud to be part of the Chamber, surrounded by local leaders who value strong partnerships and growth. It's my pleasure to introduce our franchise owner, Palvinder Badesha, who leads our team with the same commitment to caring for our clients and helping our businesses thrive.
Thank you. Well done, Marla. Thank you. It's really nerve-wracking being up here when you're not John Wygant, right? So, yes. When you have hair, right? Yes. So as John said, it's Boss's Day today, and we're in the toughest state to be a boss, are we not? But I love California and I love Corona. It's enabled our small business to make over 30,000 placements in 19 years that have translated into over 2,000 permanent hires. So as you can, I do sometimes say we're in the pimping business because we put people out to work. But if only we could control their behavior and their minds. Unfortunately, we can't yet, but AI is moving along very quickly. So in those nearly 20 years, we've gone through a deep recession, COVID, rapid workforce changes, millennials, Gen Z, and I'm actually Generation X by 1 year, but lots of my clients and my friends are boomers too, Gen Z, and now I think it's Alpha, all with their quirks and strengths. So some of the things that we do for our clients behind the scenes, kind of, you can't even really talk about it, but I will. And one of my most memorable ones a few years ago was when a young man came to me. He was working at an aerospace company, and he said, he looked a bit embarrassed, so I thought, let me handle this, because one of my staff told me that he said that his groin hurt. So I was like, okay, let me handle this one, as I tend to do with most of the safety. He came in to see me. He insisted that his penis was hurting. So I know it's a bit early to say that word, but I just did. So he was insisting his penis was hurting. I was like, did you bang yourself against a table? Were you lifting something? No. Did anything happen? No. So then we had to get into the, do you have a girlfriend? Okay. When did you last have sex with her? And it was like, oh, a couple of days ago, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it really sounds to me like you need to go to the pharmacy. It's a personal issue, or perhaps she might have something going on. But anyway, we went on like this for over an hour. And I will say, this is one of my success stories because he finally agreed not to make a claim and to go to the clinic or to the pharmacy, and then he called me and said, thank you, the pharmacist gave me some ointment. I was like, okay, thank you. That's like a minute there, Bon. So those are some of the fun, quirky things you can look back on in years to come. But I will tell you, there were things I wasn't very successful at. Toenail fungus being one, where one of my staff ended up accepting that claim. It just bizarre stuff, but there's so many rewards to helping people find work and helping companies, but there's a lot behind the scenes. And I think really, we can all find human beings on the street, but it's helping protect you, being like a brick wall in front of you, that I really appreciate. And I want to thank all our clients, some of whom are in the room, for your, and Peabody Engineering, clients that have now moved to another state too. So thank you for all the trust that you've placed in us and enabled us to help put thousands of people to work. We could not do it by ourselves, but you know what? I'm running out of time. I know. Can I just say here? But you've given us the opportunities to continue to do that. Thank you for all that you do to create jobs and build stronger communities. Come and visit us at our booth. We have chocolate.
So in her booth, she has chocolate and bottles of ointment. Paul Bender-Badesha, keeping your workman's comp cheap.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You can count on her to okay.
Wake you up.
Yes, wake you up in the morning. So yes. Okay, so we're gonna introduce who's here brand new, first time? Raise your hand. Sharon's first time, anybody else first time? We got a few, okay. Very good. All right. I thought Anthony raised his hand. Anthony's first time? Very good, all right. So let's hear for all those first timers. There are VIPs here. Absolutely. Now I'm going to go over, read off our elected officials. When we do this, we clap one time. So you guys should be used to doing this because most of you have been here before. So we will start with Riverside County Supervisor, 2nd District, Karen Spiegel. Let's try it again. Riverside County Supervisor, 2nd District, Karen Spiegel. Oh, there we go, much better. I know you're still reeling from what Paul Bender said. Cronin School Board Vice President, Chris Rahaga. Board Member, Anna Cordini Meza. Alvord School District Superintendent, Reggie Tompkins. Corona Department Heads, Economic Development Director, Joel Belding. Riverside County Office, Riverside County CEO, Jeff Van Wagenen. All right. That was a quick list. How about the, anybody else I missed? Oh, Miss Blumenthal's here. Let's hear for her. Thank you. I forget which board she's on. She's on all kinds of boards. So, any board members for the chamber? Raise your hand. Let's hear it for them. You can, oh, good. You guys are well-trained. So, let's see. On deck is our new members that joined in the month of September. You can line up over here. I'm pleased to welcome our chairman of the board for 2025, Chad Miller. He's only got a couple months left in his reign here. So he's done a great job leading the chamber. He's very passionate about businesses and helping them, and he's done a great job. So let's hear it. Welcome to the stage, Chad. Yeah, the sun, right. It's a reflection right off my head.
Good morning, Corona. Good morning. That was awesome. You guys are awake now. You must have had coffee already. Awesome. Well, it is an exciting day here to be here. Thank you all for being here. This is not just a good but great morning, Corona. All right, so I wanted to share a few things with you guys. The first thing is to stay connected. We all like being connected. That's why you guys are all here. Let's get connected. So the Corona Chamber has a lot of activities, a lot of events. We've got a lot of committees and a lot of things that we're doing. And we want to make it easy for you. So you can kind of see up there on this screen, we have a new text line. Yes, you too can get text from your chamber on what's going on. So you don't have to worry about FOMO, the fear of missing out. You don't want that. So it's right there. You can snap that QR code and get updates for everything going on. The next, we have a legislative committee. There'll be a slide in a minute on that. And our chamber has taken a position. We feel that no on 50, we want to defend the elections. And what I learned is I did some of my own homework, but we have a legislative consultant as well as a legislative chair, and they presented to our board, and they shared some things with us. And one thing that I found is back in 2008, there was something called Prop 11. I know you guys remember that, right? It was just like last year. 2008, it was called the Voters First Act was passed. And so I did my own research after hearing from our legislative consultant and our committee chair on that. And that was born out of the frustration of the process. So So when I did my own research, there's actually a really neat part. It's actually a state website called wedrawthelines.ca.gov, and it gives some great information on how that started and why. And so I just want to share with you, there's some points on here about why we felt that the No on 50 was that. So whether or not you've made that decision yet, we just want to share with you some information on why I know. I'm sharing my thoughts on that. But we put on there that it erodes the independent oversight, opens the door to the political map making, cost and timing, impact on voter rights. And that's why I did my own research and look back on the state's very website of why that started in the first place. That's kind of how I like to work. Hey, why did the voters say we should do this back in 2008? So I did my own homework. So if you would like to do that too, that's a great website to check out on. But we have a slide for you there. And then the next thing, let's see here. There's 2 QR codes. There's the other one for you. Each one leads you to a different part, but you can do more research on your own for that. My concern also was that with our budget deficit in California, this is costing us hundreds of millions of dollars to do this. So, there's just a lot that was going on to that. So I encourage you, do your homework on that, but the Chamber does feel that No on 50 is the correct decision on that one. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. Legislative Action Fundraiser. As I just mentioned, our Chamber does have a very strong and active legislative committee led by Jeff Miller. And we did return from Sacramento in May and then DC just last month. And we have a fundraiser coming up. So this QR code that you see here on the screen, we're looking for participants, we're looking for sponsors, but this is what helps us to represent you, the businesses of our community, to our state and federal legislators. So know that you too can be a part of helping us fight the good fight of growing our businesses here and supporting our community and our health. So just want to share these slides with you guys. I am here till the end, so feel free if you'd like to come and talk to me. And with that, I will turn it back over to Mr. Wagenen. Thank you, Jeff.
Chad, thank you. So, Paul Bender mentioned the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm bald, and I think our speaker is too. What do you call a bald porcupine? Pointless. Next up, we have a video from one of our sponsors, Riverside County Office of Economic Development. Roll it. I always want to say that.
Meet Kusum Kavya, the powerhouse behind Combustion Associates, Inc., a woman-owned minority business that's redefining clean energy on a global scale.
We are looking at technologies that reduce carbon emissions, nitrogen emissions, and make it really clean technology. And when our product is shipped from Riverside County, California, I cannot tell you how many times people love the idea of California being innovative, and being in this manufacturing hub in Riverside County has really promoted us, whereas the U.S. Department continually brings overseas customers and investors to visit, because wherever there is growth, there is infrastructure. Wherever there is an infrastructure need, there is a power generation need, and that's where CAI comes into play.
To learn about Riverside County innovation and business resources, visit rivcoinnovation.org.
All right. Yeah, you can clap. Sorry. Thank you, Riverside County Economic Development, for sponsoring today. On deck will be our Chamber Golf with Rebecca. And then it's my pleasure to introduce Robert Inez, Membership Development Coordinator with the Chamber of Commerce. Here we go, Robert.
Thank you very much, John. Good morning, everyone. Please join me in welcoming our newest members who decided to join the Chamber of Commerce, the Corona Chamber of Commerce, a true chamber of opportunities. We are thrilled to have them as part of a growing business community where members can gain access to valuable resources, meaningful connections, and the support they need to thrive. And before I continue, how many of you are not yet members? Please raise your hand. I don't see any hands, but if you didn't raise your hand and you're not yet a member, I do have membership applications for you. And if you know somebody who's interested in joining the chamber or think would be a good fit, please see me after the event. While not all of our members could be here today, we wanted to recognize them all. And each will be given a 30 seconds to introduce themselves and their business. And if you start to hear this sound or this music that Kenny will play, you know your time's up. That is letting you know that your 30 seconds is up. And once you're finished with your speech, please move over to my left and take a picture with our board chair, Chad Miller. And first up, we have Circle City Tavern. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. John with Circle City Tavern here. We are a brand new restaurant here in center of Corona. Farm to table, fresh foods on your plates every day. And our signature cocktails menu is all fresh as well. So please come give us a try. Thanks.
Awesome. Not able to be here today, Huntington Security Systems, Magnolia Congregate Living, and next up, MVP Accident Attorneys. Let's give a round of applause.
I am so short. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Chelsea Sachs, and I am Managing Partner of MVP Accident Attorneys. We are a personal injury law firm. I know everyone here is like, get out of here, we don't like you, and that's okay. Better to know me and not need me than need me and not know me. I'm here for you. Our company is here for you. We are in Riverside, LA, Sacramento, Irvine, so we're all over the state. So thank you so much. We're so happy to be a part of the Corona Chamber, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here, New Day Christian Fellowship, and next up, Off the Charts, Corona. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, good morning. Oh, so sorry, I'm a little short too. Good morning, everybody. My name is Carmen Carrillo. I am a regional manager with Off the Charts, Corona. We are one of the biggest family-owned and operated cannabis businesses in the state, and we do have other locations outside of California as well. We've been with Corona for about a little over 2 years, and we're so excited. Hopefully we get to see everybody soon, and we can continue to contribute to the community and strengthen all of our community ties.
Thank you so much. Not able to be here, Over the Moon Escape Room, and next up, Paco Licea for State Assembly District 58. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning. My name is Paco Licea, and I'm running for California State Assembly District 58. It encompasses Corona, Riverside, Aruba Valley, and Grand Terrace. I am here because of the American dream. I come from working immigrant parents. My dad had two goals: go to college, buy a house. And as a real estate broker of 25 years married to law enforcement, I feel I have a unique perspective, and I want to make sure that American dream stays alive. I look forward to meeting many of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Not able to be here, Next up, Garage Service Station Inc. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, my name is Amit Kumar from Garage Service Station. We've been doing business here in Corona for a little over 40 years. Not sure why it took us so long to get on, but we're finally here. So we have a few gas stations on 6th Street, and we've been here for over 40 years. So it's been really nice being part of this town and growing our family. So thank you.
Not able to be here, Shade Properties. And next up, Wellbe Health. Let's give them a round of applause.
Look, good morning. My name is Adrian Zaval. I'm Director with Wellbe Health.
Hi, I'm Alex Parada with Wellbe Health, of course. I'm an outreach specialist. So what we are a PACE center here in Riverside and San Bernardino. So we're an all-inclusive care for seniors 55 and up, and we also serve the veterans. So if you have any questions or need more information, you can reach out to me. I'll be here, and thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you very much. And next up, we have Woodside Fire Protection. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning. My name is Byrie Woodson. I'm the owner and founder of Woodson Fire Protection.
We became residents of Corona, California, me and the wife, about 6 years ago. So I'm building trade trained. It's been an excellent trade to be in, and man, let me tell you, it's rewarding and it has really, really been great. And I am here in Corona to provide a service that I am very well trained in, and I can do service, new construction, tenant improvements, inspections, whatever. I got you, so just give us a call if you need us, and we're right here locally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you to all of our new members.
Thank you, Robert. Okay. So we just want to thank a few people for making this morning possible. Ambassadors that got here early, Christy and Arani with DFI, Sharon Vadano with Sharon Vadano Life Coaching. You can clap, yeah. Tiffany Ieri with Active Lending, and Saul Shapiro with Mentor Maker Space. So let's hear for them. We got photographers going around, taking pictures. How many were at the women's conference? Right, so you heard about, what is it? Turtle, angle, and posture, right? Tap? All right, so this is as good as it gets, buddy. Sorry. That's what we have. What is it? Where you can doctor the photos? Photoshop. So we have Jim Dorsey, commercial photography. Jim's over there. Grant Romancy, photographer. The team at Mentor Market Space, Scotty, Oscar, and Jay. Let's hear it for them. Okay, so on deck is Jason Tang with the Riverside County Economic Development Department. It's my pleasure to introduce Rebecca Spiegel regarding our Chamber Golf Tournament. Rebecca, it's all yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning. I have a little bit, I want to play off the joke. So what's a golfer's worst nightmare? The bogeyman. I didn't make that one up. All right, good morning. We are close to being sold out for our golf tournament next week. Just a few foursomes left. But we do have the option for you to join us for our dinner and auction. There's a couple of sample auction items in the back. Taylor Swift, as well as a football that's signed. It's number 1 of 50, which is a big deal, I guess. I'm not really into all that, but I'm really good at putting on the event. So I'm looking forward to such a fun day. Thank you to those of you who've already committed and sponsored. We have a full course with vendors for drinks and food. I promise you, you will not be sober leaving. We have plenty of auction items that you can come and enjoy dinner with us after. There's some flyers in the back. Again, there's an opportunity for everyone. If you want to donate an auction item, if you want to participate in volunteering, if you want to sponsor a foursome, or if you want to attend the dinner and bid on some auction items, you can see me in the back. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, if you own a company, you should buy a foursome. Bring some of your best clients or employees. They're going to have a great day. It is a fabulous event that the Chamber puts on. Thank you, Rebecca. On deck is On-Site Computing. Now I would like to welcome onto the stage Jason Tang with Riverside County Office of Economic Development to share about Employer Connect program. Jason, it's up to you.
Thank you very much, John. I'm actually with Workforce Development, though. Okay. But good morning, Corona. Good morning. Ooh, I like the energy. Thank you. So if this was a concert and Jeff Van Wagenen is the headliner, that makes me the opening act. So I'm grateful to do that. So thank you, Bobby. I'll rock on, everybody. But at Workforce Development, we have a wonderful program. It's called the Employer Connect program. Essentially what it does is we can reimburse you 100% of a new hire's wage for the first, up to $20 for the first 480 hours of that new hire's time. So that's $9,600 in reimbursement. It's almost $10,000 that you can get reimbursed by us. And all that you need, thank you, John. I like that. And all that you need to do is have that new employee take a 2-hour virtual training with us to learn about the county's homeless resources, programs, and services. Okay? So the program is twofold. One, it's to help the businesses in their hiring needs. And then 2 is to help the individuals in our county who are experiencing homelessness. So let's just go over the math real quick, right? For your employee to take the 2-hour training course with us, going to cost you about $40, right? 2 hours, $20 an hour, $40. We're going to reimburse, for every dollar that you spend on those wages, we're going to reimburse you $250. There you go. Okay? So, we will reimburse you that amount for the training that they are taking place in. And I'm not an accountant, but I bet you if you ask your CPA, that's a pretty good deal. Okay? So, secondly, how do we help the individuals in the community who are experiencing homelessness? Well, essentially what we're trying to do is deputize the business community to understand that there are county services to help in the situations that these individuals find themselves in. So, we want someone on your staff to be educated about our programs and services so that we can actually help these individuals and not just call law enforcement to have them moved. We actually want to help them, whether that's behavioral health, food pantries, shelters, etc. We want staff to know about that so that we can help in that issue. Now, I'm not naive. I know that sometimes we think about like, oh, business and government, like it doesn't really mix. But you know what, just take my word for it. Our sponsor today, Paul Bender, she has used this program and she is happy to answer any questions that you have about what we've done to help her. Now, it is a government program, so there is paperwork, so just know that. But it's easy. We're here to help you, okay? Now, the kicker of the program is that the funding does end in December, so time is of the essence. So if you've hired in the last 2 months or you're going to hire in the next 2 months, please come talk to us. Some of my team members is here. We have a table here down Exhibitor Alley. Arlise Perez is our program coordinator. She is here. She's going to help you through the whole process. They're all rock stars. We're not as big as a rock star as Jeff. We're mini rock stars. And so we're here to help you. Thank you very much for lending me your ear this morning, and have a great rest of your morning.
Thank you very much for the opening act, giving away $9,600 to everybody here. So my nephew, Seth, is in the back. Raise your hand, Seth. So Seth is in college on a double major, and his assignment was to go to Good Morning Riverside and do an evaluation and then turn in a report. And he said, no way, I'm not going to Riverside, I'm going to Corona. Then he called his uncle to get a free ticket.
Hire him.
Yeah, I know. Okay, on deck is the Corona Chamber Foundation Board, so you can line up to my right. So on deck also, if we haven't did on-site computing, yeah, he's ready to go, okay. As I mentioned earlier, putting on events like this would be tremendous help from our sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. On-site Computing is sponsoring today's event. Their team works to keep local businesses running smoothly with dependable IT support and innovative technology solutions. And I've had the pleasure of working with them over some of the different companies that I've been on boards for. They do an amazing job. It's, as you know in business, it's one of the most important things. Cybersecurity, helping organizations stay connected, protected, and prepare for the future. Welcome to the stage, On-Site Computing.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Paul. I am the Operations Manager with On-Site Computing. Going into it being National Bosses Day, how many of you have heard the expression, hire the right people with a diverse talent set that know the subjects that you don't, right? The areas that you might not know as well.
Yep.
Managed service providers help a lot of small businesses with that, specifically when it comes to IT needs. Now, with that, On-Site Computing has multiple certifications with their staff. Everything from Microsoft through Amazon, AWS, Azure, CompTIA, as well as multiple compliance and project management certifications. IT is a major endeavor for a lot of companies, and having a local resource such as On-Site Computing based in Corona allows companies to leverage our resources for both remote and on-site resources. We are compliant with CMMC Level 1, as well as a number of other standards. We support a number of different agencies, including nonprofit. We support local municipalities and government, and we also support manufacturing. We do work with a number of different agencies here in Corona, many of which are part of the chamber, and I'm seeing a few familiar faces in the audience who are clients of ours. We have a 5-star client satisfaction rating on Google, and a lot of those reviews are a testament to how we take care of our clients. So why choose on-site computing, right? You know, a lot of businesses have somebody internally that might be IT savvy, that might know how to do a lot of things with computers. The catch with that is they probably have a primary role as it is. So you're taking that person away from that primary function, right? On top of that, IT is so vast. We often associate it towards the medical industry being so diverse. You have different focuses from cybersecurity, backup disaster recovery, cloud computing, and then just managed and co-managed help desk. One other major avenue is also compliance services. So having staff that's, you've got a proven track record of client satisfaction, certified experienced individuals, as well as a staff that is all based in the US. That is a major selling point for us, is because all of our staff is based here in the US. You're not calling us and getting somebody overseas and having to go through that process. We're a 24/7 organization, so if you call at 1 in the morning and something's broken, we're able to respond. If somebody's trying to get into your system at 2 in the morning when you guys are asleep, we're responding. We're making sure you're protected and your organization's secure. We also offer a range of professional IT services outside of managed service agreements. As I mentioned, there's a number of familiar faces in the audience. These are just some of our clients that we have currently. We've worked with the City of Corona in the past. We work with Zoe, YMCA. We work with Do It American. We work with a number of different agencies here in Corona, as well as the state as a whole. We also do have multi-state operations. So we have clients that have operations in Georgia, Texas, Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania. So we are able to support with multiple locations. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. That QR code will lead you to our website and we can answer any questions. Each of your tables has a business card on there from either Frank, who is the owner and founder, or my business card, or Melis, who is sitting right over there, who is our marketing specialist. We are more than happy to give you a consultation and tell you how we can help your business specifically. Thank you.
Thank you, John Paul. And on site, very good. Okay, now I'd like to bring up Corona Economic Development Director Joe Belding. He's got 2 exciting initiatives he's going to share that the City of Corona is taking on. Let's hear it for Joe.
Good morning, everybody. So I've got 2 slides here. The first question I have is, how many people follow economic development, Corona's economic development Instagram page? Instagram. So we're constantly pumping out new information about training opportunities and also highlighting local businesses. If you're not a follower, please join. It's our most immediate way to communicate with you and then also to collect comments from you. Along those lines, so we have if you sell things or provide services that make people's events better, there's a new way for you to pre-qualify with the city so that when private parties reserve city facilities, we will give them a list of pre-approved vendors to expedite that process. So if you sell things or provide food or supplies for events, please scan this QR code, sign up for our Ready to Serve program, and like I said, you'll be on a pre-qualified list that every single person that reserves a city facility will get. So you can get priority service there. Our second is the Economic Development Department. We're a brand new team. Most people have been here just since the beginning of the year. So as we're looking into 2026, we're looking for guidance from you as to how we can do our jobs better. So we have a business climate survey. It was included in your last newsletter from the Chamber, but we're still looking to get more participants involved in that. Take a minute, tell us your opinion about how we're doing, how you're doing, and what we can do to be of better service to you. So take a couple of minutes and help us do our jobs better by providing better service to you all. So thank you, and I will be here next month.
All right, thank you, Joel. On deck is our milestone members. Also, I want to just thank a few people. Rhythm Tech Productions for being here. They have to get here when it's dark, doing the production here. Staff here at Eagle Glen, you've got Raul Tovar, the sales manager, Kevin Hawk, the clubhouse manager, and all the staff members that are here serving you today. So let's hear it for them. Later on, we'll talk about Exhibitor Row. I like that. That was pretty good. Exhibitor Row, right? Exhibitor Alley, that's right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. It's the marketing person catching my mistake. All right, so I would like to welcome the Corona Chamber Foundation up now for a special presentation. Paul Bender and her board, her team. Let's hear it for them.
I would love to introduce the board, Corona Chamber Foundation board that is here behind me. Kathy Armstrong, Grace Clark, John Peterson, David Brambilla, and Dean Safe. Thank you. I want to thank them for all the time and commitment that they put on throughout the year, as well as all their other responsibilities.
On behalf of the Corona Chamber Foundation, we are thrilled to present a check. Dr. Toynbee Rublitis, would you join us on stage? Yay! Yay! So Dr. Toynbee Rublitis is the director of the adult school. This is the second year running that we have made a donation to the adult school, and this reflects our belief that education is a lifelong commitment and that it opens doors and changes lives at every stage. And what we have been so impressed with at the foundation is how the adult school is helping employers and employees in town gain the skills needed to enable them to progress in their jobs and careers, but also to support their families. And many of them, I think the majority, are immigrants or people who've grown up in other countries and haven't had the advantage of an American education. Thank you. So, thank you. There's a check for $5,000 to the adult school. Thank you so much, Toynbee. Toynbee?
When he falls over, you're going to look at me. All right. Thank you. One more.
Go ahead, one more.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm just doing.
Toynbee's going to speak first. Toynbee, would you like to say something?
Good morning, Corona. Thank you very much for this opportunity to serve more students. With this foundation funding that we got last year, we were able to improve our number of students who graduated by 15%. This is because our students who come to us, some of them are low-income families. They go through the whole course for the GED or high school equivalency, sometimes nurse training or medical assistant, but they wait to take the test because they could not put that $150 or $250. And so with this foundation funding, we were able to get vouchers from them ahead of time so that the moment they're ready to test, they test. So then the rate of graduation increases a lot faster. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's awesome, awesome. Congratulations for all of you that have contributed to the Chamber Foundation and the Chamber Foundation for doing that. That's pretty cool to hear. So now before our keynote speaker, please welcome the Corona Chamber's Vice President of Operations and Membership Development, Desiree Ramirez.
Thank you so much, John. Good morning, everybody. You guys all awake? Awesome, awesome. Okay, one of the greatest privileges we have at the Corona Chamber is celebrating the businesses that have invested in our mission and our community year after year. Today, we're excited to recognize several of our incredible members who are celebrating milestone anniversaries with the Chamber. Reaching a milestone with the Chamber is more than just a marker of time. It is a testament to their ongoing investment in local business, community partnerships, and the betterment of Corona as a whole. Whether it's 5 years, 10, 20 or more, their involvement has helped strengthen our network, shape our programs, and inspire others to engage and contribute. We are proud to celebrate your commitment today, and we thank you for your loyalty, continued partnership, and most importantly, the trust you have placed into our chamber, your chamber. Your success is our success, and we look forward to growing with you in the years ahead. Milestone members, you'll be given 1 minute to speak and introduce yourselves and your business, and if you go over, Kenny will play this song. There we go. And you dance too. All right, after speaking, please move to my left for a photo with our chairman of the board, Chad Miller. All right, so, and then all right. A special thank you to the elected officials listed on the screen that provided certificates of recognition for our milestone members. So let's begin by celebrating a 5-year milestone with the Chamber. Please welcome Corona Clay Company.
I'm Craig Lelis, my wife Melissa DeLeo. And years ago we were in the Chamber when our office was in Corona, and we've located just south of here several years ago, but now the city's almost back to us again. So I'd like to we do baseball fields and everything for most of the cities and some pro teams and college teams for baseball fields. But I want to thank Corona High that we've been doing their field for over 50 years, and they're one of the top baseball teams in the state and in the nation. And it's been a pleasure being in the chamber. Thank you.
Also celebrating 5 years but unable to attend is Curry Enterprises. Also celebrating a 5-year is, come on up, Labor Now.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Rashad Garcia. I'm the Director of Business Development with Labor Now. I'm happy to be representing my company and our 5-year milestone. What we provide is professional, blue collar, and temp to hire labor for a local business in Riverside and Corona. That's
Now celebrating a 5-year milestone, please welcome Lucky Air.
How's it going? I'm Andy Niffen. I'm the operations manager over at Lucky Air. We do plumbing, heating, and air, so give us a call for all your guys' needs. Thank you.
Celebrating a 10-year milestone but unable to attend is Christopher Jonathan Ramirez and Associates. But here to celebrate a 10-year milestone, please welcome Menchie's Frozen Yogurt.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I'm the operations owner of Menchie's in Corona, so it's a pleasure and thank you so much for inviting us. We've been in Corona and Hidden Valley Plaza for 10 years, so thank you for recognizing us for being a business partner for the last 10 years. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The next 3 businesses are unable to attend, but we will still recognize their commitment to the chamber. Celebrating a 15-year milestone is R. James Richardson II, MS DDS. And also celebrating is Sprite Industries. And finally, celebrating a 25-year milestone but unable to attend is Compare Carpets and Hard Floors. Let's give them all another round of applause, and thank you again to all of our milestone members.
Thank you, Desiree. Congratulations, all milestone members. Hey, did you hear about the new flight company started exclusively for bald people? It's called Receding Hairlines. Receding Hairlines. Okay, so Exhibitor Alley, let me just acknowledge those in Exhibitor Alley. Don't leave today until you go meet with them. We have the Chamber Golf Tournament, Circle City Rotary, Crown Companies, Express Employment Professionals, FutureLink, Mentor Market Space, On-Site Computing, Riverside County Office of Economic Development, and the Riverside County Office of Workforce Development, and then Rugged Coffee over there in the corner. So, yeah. All right, so let's hear it for our exhibitors. Go see them before you leave. And so again, we did a bunch of the thank yous. I get to introduce our county supervisor, who's going to introduce our keynote speaker. So is Karen here? There she is, okay. So I only look right. So ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet. It's a good time to stretch. And welcome our county supervisor, Karen Spiegel.
This is an exciting opportunity because our speaker is an incredible man, and you'll find that when you hear him. But if you Google Jeff Van Wagenen, he is not the professional American golfer. Although he may play golf, but he's not the professional golfer. So you have to look a little lower. But Jeff's got an incredible background. He has been our CEO for Riverside County, but I wanted to, before I explain a little bit about that, real quickly, he has got such a varied background. You know, when you're looking for people to lead an organization, you've got to have somebody who has a breadth of knowledge, experience. And when you look at him, 3 years as the deputy district attorney, then he owned his own law practice for over 10 years. So when we're in closed session, he has a little bit more information than our general counsel sometimes. Don't tell men I said that. Okay. Then he was was the director of our economic development agency at Riverside County. So then he's got the background, which all of you should be very happy that he understands business. He owned his own business and then he headed the agency for the county. Then he was our ACO for 3.5 years over public safety. So now he's got the background, law, business, public safety. And of course, being our CEO, he came in at a time in February 2021. And do you remember what was happening then? We were trying to figure out, are we coming out of COVID or what are we doing? He took over in the middle of that. Interviews were kind of interesting during that time. I found out who the players were who wouldn't come and see us in person, and those who wanted to be on the screen. So anyway, it was an interesting time, and Jeff just came with flying colors. No mistake was ever made on this man. He is an incredible person to lead our organization. If you don't know anything about Riverside County, we're over 7,300 square miles. We have almost 25,000 employees, a $10 billion budget, wow. 40 departments, 25,000 employees. Not an easy task.
Honey, you're telling his speech.
No, he's not. He's not. He won't brag about himself. And he doesn't brag about himself. So I'm sorry, I took your time. I adore this man. He is an incredible person. If you haven't had the opportunity, you're going to today and make a meeting because he will meet with you and you will get a wonderful feeling of how great Riverside County is. Thank you, Jeff Van Wagenen.
I know you had more. You always have more. I meant that in all the best ways. And also, Supervisor Bobby and I both wanted to say thank you to our bosses, which is you. So, thanks for having us today. My name, as the supervisor said, is Jeff Van Wagenen. I'm the County Executive Officer. Bobby said today I had 3 priorities: be brief, be brilliant, be seated. I don't know if I'll get all 3. So what I'm going to talk about today first is a little bit on the budget. The supervisor set the table for that. I'm going to talk about what some of our policy principles are as set by the Board of Supervisors, and then some of our priorities, and then do a deeper dive into one of those priorities. But first, who's been in this community, I'm talking Corona, Western Riverside County, or Riverside County generally, for the last 5 years? Keep those hands up. For 10 years. Bring them back down. Who's been here for 10 years? Who's been here for 20 years? 30 years. All right? So I don't have to tell this group what's happened in Riverside County, specifically Western Riverside County, over the last 30 years. Between 1990 and 2020, according to the census, Riverside County doubled in size. Between 2010 and 2020, more people moved to Riverside County than any other county in the state of California. Between 21 and 25, twice during that time, more people moved to Riverside County than any other county in the United States, with the single exception of Maricopa, Arizona. That's why you can't find parking, she says, right? That's why it takes a minute to get down to 91 sometimes, right? So, but also, here's the other thing about it. For those people who've been around 5, 10, 20, 30 years, when you're looking ahead 30 years, it seems like a long time, doesn't it? When you're looking back 30 years, it's the blink of an eye. And so one of the things that we realize in Riverside County is with this growth comes extraordinary opportunity, right? These are our neighbors. These are our employers. These are our employees, right? These are the folks that we get an opportunity. But it's also, the other potential nice thing about it is we've changed a lot, right? I used to have a picture of my son going through a growth spurt and he asked me to take it off. But when you double in size over 30 years, which again is not a very long time, that's a growth spurt, right? There are times when we're a little bit awkward, right? Who's had children? Who's had specifically a son who's gone through that growth spurt, right? The feet don't match the body, right? The legs don't match the arms. The clothes are never fitting, right? That's part of what Riverside County's been going through, is that growth spurt. But the other nice thing about it is we're now a big dog on the corner. right? For so long, we used to kind of sit on the outside, you know, gosh, I wish one day we're gonna grow up. The reality is we're the grown-ups. What I tell folks in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. is that the future of California comes through Riverside County. And it really does. When we hear the stories about people leaving California, that's not our experience. We're adding 30,000 people a year to the County of Riverside. That's a city the size of Norco, of Wildomar, of Desert Hot Springs, every single year. But it means that we also have to be intentional. That growth is also one of our biggest challenges, because for every individual that comes, they come with needs. They come with a demand for services. They command additional things from us. So I'll go through this quickly. Supervisor Spiegel touched on it. Our budget is $10 billion with a B. Right? That is extraordinary, right? How does that budget get broken up between all of our different partners? The number one piece of that pie is our health and hospital services. Then we have public safety, then we have human services, public works and infrastructure. So it really is diverse where all that money goes. We also divide that money into two separate different pots. We have the money that comes from other folks, and then we have the discretionary funds. On the left is what is fixed, is what comes to the county with a very specific purpose for our budget to spend. Our Board of Supervisors certainly oversees that budget, certainly approves that budget, but doesn't have a lot of wiggle room in how to spend those dollars. On the right side of your screen is what we call our discretionary budget. That is the $1.4 billion that comes in that our Board of Supervisors determines where it goes, how that money is spent. It's what we call the general fund. This year was something different, and it feels a little crazy when I say it out loud, but generally speaking, when we were developing the budget, had not typically gone out to the community to get feedback. What we would normally do is we would publish our budget, we would have budget hearings, we would invite communities to come to the Board of Supervisors when it was convenient for us because it was our board meetings, and we'd ask people to give us feedback on the budget that was already prepared, already published. And we would get maybe 15 to 20 people who would provide input on that budget. But whose money is it? Right? It's your money. Who's getting the services? It's you and your neighbors and your friends and your family. So one of the things that Supervisor Spiegel and her colleagues tasked me with a year ago was to really do outreach, do engagement, get feedback from the community. So we did a survey. We started it in December, ran it for 3 months. We got 24,000 responses to that survey. Right. You're like, 24,000, that's not a lot. Who's done surveys before? Right? That's a ton, right? And when I compare it to the 17 people who spoke the year before, it's extraordinary. But we didn't stop there. We then published a Budget 101 document that tried to explain the complicated and make it understandable to the people who actually we serve. We were actually pretty successful in putting that package together. I think Supervisor Spiegel carries it around and shares it with people everywhere she goes, just because it's a good primer on what we're doing. So we did our survey, 24,000 responses. We did our Budget 101 document. And then we went and did 5 different community meetings where we got another 500 people that came and visited and provided that feedback to us. So when the Board of Supervisors gets that budget that is recommended by my office, it's informed by the community. It's informed by the people that we have to deliver services for. And as a result, it's a better budget, it's a better process. But what are the pressures on us? Now, this slide is funny. When I presented this slide to the Board of Supervisors back in June, the font was equal across all of these different pressures. Every day that goes by, specifically every day over the last 16 days since we've been in a government shutdown, the font on that top line gets bigger and bigger. Right, of our $10 billion budget, $4.5 billion, $4.5 billion comes from either the state or federal government. And of the money that comes from the state, almost half of that comes from the federal government by way of pass-through. So we are super dependent on those decisions that are being made in Sacramento, by those decisions that are being made in Washington, D.C. And the reality is we are trying to navigate those waters in real time, trying to figure out what is the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen November 1st as we try and do that. So we are really impacted by how those DC and Sacramento are working, or in some cases not working. So what are the policy principles that the Board of Supervisors has set for us to try and guide every action that we end up doing? First, we're tasked with financially stable and results-oriented service delivery. Second, safe, sustainable, and healthy neighborhoods. Third, thriving, robust, and diverse economy. And fourth, paving the way for resilient, ready, and connected communities. Supervisor Spiegel referenced that we have almost 40 departments in the County of Riverside, providing everything from veteran services to social services to public safety to infrastructure services. And so we need to have policy principles that are as diverse as our organization is, that is as diverse as our communities are. So those are the principles. Everything that I'm tasked by the Board of Supervisors to do, everything that our departments are tasked to do, falls in one of those 4 categories. We also have policy pillars. One of the things that's most important to us is to try and seek fair and equitable funding. I don't want to ruin any surprises, but anyone who's lived in this community and worked in this community knows that Riverside County doesn't get its fair share, right? A lot of the funding formulas were built in 1991. This is a callback. We've doubled in size since 1991. Some other funding formulas were built in 2011. More people have moved here than any other county since 2011, right? Yet the funding formulas don't catch up. So we are always going to get not just our fair share, but to remind people that we've been left out of the tent for too long, and we need more than our fair share now. The other policy pillar is local governance requires local solutions. Corona is different than Norco. Corona is different than Eastvale, is different than Paris or La Quinta or Coachella. Riverside County is different than San Bernardino, Orange, LA, or San Diego. So we need to make sure that we have the flexibility locally to know what our community needs, to know what our residents need, and be able to deliver those services. And then finally, we have to make sure that we are breaking barriers and building bridges. We can't do it alone, and I'll say something about that just as I end. So what are the priorities that we're working on? So before I talk about those priorities that we're currently working on, I want to give a plug. Supervisor Spiegel has been a champion of wanting to renew, redo, refresh our countywide strategic plan. And this is something that in the next couple of weeks, Supervisor Spiegel will be bringing an item to the Board of Supervisors to create an ad hoc committee to go and redo our strategic plan. So we're looking forward to that opportunity. And again, she's been a driving force of that since, and I'm glad that in the introduction she didn't say that she's been asking me for 5 years. But we're there now, right? So what has been guiding us while we're going to develop that? One of our top priorities is simple. Improve the quality of life of those we serve, right? That is the most basic aspect of government service, of public service. What does that mean, improve the quality of life? Well, we've got folks from our Office of Economic Development here. We've got our Housing and Workforce Solutions. You heard from my opening app, Jason Tang, talking about workforce, right? Improve the quality of life is things like business revitalization, workforce development. It's things like roads, early childhood education, climate resiliency. Anything that makes your life a little bit better is something that we focus on. Another one is achieving fiscal stability. It's hard, right? The reality is we are riding the roller coaster. Are we in a recession, out of a recession, about to be a recession? Who knows? Are times good out there or are times tough, right? The reality is often when the funding from the state and federal government is cut is when our community needs us the most. So we're really trying to get so that we can smooth out those peaks and valleys here in the county so that we can deliver those services. Another one that has to be a part of it, and I know we've got folks from the Corona Police Department here and they know this, I don't know what the next emergency is going to be, other than there's going to be the next emergency, right? So part of the task I've been given by the board is we've got to be ready. We've got to be able to respond, resolve, and ultimately restore. Those are large-scale emergencies like COVID, like giant wildfires, floods, but it's also different issues about popping things up like MPOX or some of these other things that pop up. And again, requires all of us to try and get through those emergencies. Another one of our priorities is seeking systemic equity. What does that mean? Well, I will tell you here in Riverside County, in some areas, the life expectancy drops by 20 years, depending on what zip code you live in. The reality is where you live should not be the determining factor of how long or how well you live. But in Riverside County, that is the case sometimes. We need to work through that. So we're constantly focused on that. Continuous training. This is a shameless plug from one of your board, or for one of your board members. Anybody recognize that dude on the right or on the left? Yeah. Right? Barry E for excellent night. Right? That's a real Emmy he got as part of his work on our team to develop. What, is this a surprise to some people? I assumed you walked around with that award. Right? Has it not made its way to Good Morning Corona, Bobby? Again, to try and train people that it's important to have different voices at the table. That everybody comes to where we are with different experiences. And just like you, I see the world through the lens of my experience. So we need people with different experiences, different backgrounds in the room to try and get there. So this was an award we received from the Academy of Television. But what is the other aspect of seeking systemic equity? It's a simple fact about government service. They need to go to who needs it, where they need it, and when they need it. And that's one of the things we focus on a daily basis. Now I'd like to do a deeper dive into one of our priorities, which is transform service delivery. That has been something that Supervisor Spiegel and her colleagues have been a champion of since the first day I landed in the office. Why? Why do we need to transform service delivery? Anybody recognize the people in this photo? Right? So, obviously we know Diane Sawyer. Oh. The two people on the left, right? This chamber took an extraordinary role in trying to save these two kids and their siblings. Right when these kids were rescued from Paris, the chamber went and raised money to help stabilize their lives. A few years later, we learned that in some ways the county had failed them in their ongoing recovery. What we learned when we did a deep dive on that after this show had aired is that there were good people doing good work at the county in their silo, in their area, in their expertise. The failures that we had were in the gaps, in the in-between, in not communicating with each other. We realized during that process we had to do something differently. Anybody have to try and get a business permit? Anybody ever had to try and go through building and safety? Or code? Or planning? Anybody have some frustration through that process? Right? Why is that? Right? Because sometimes there was this mentality of next window, please. Right? Next door, please. That's not my job. I do this piece. I'm going to hand the baton on to the next person. And then sometimes you go to the next window and they send you back to the first window. Or they send you to another street. And then you're back where you started again with a different person, and all of a sudden the rules have changed. Right? Again, that's that same sort of thing. It's that siloed thinking. It's that next window. It's that we got to change how we operate. How about this one? And by the way, I didn't know that Stephanie was going to be here, but she's got a picture here in the slides. Right? Homelessness. We heard Jason talk a little bit about it. Why do you think people end up on the streets? Lots of reasons. So how do we solve it? Lots of ways. Right? I will tell you, to a cop, it's a cop problem, and they're not wrong. To a homeless outreach expert, it's a big-hearted problem, and they're not wrong. To a behavioral health professional, it's a behavioral health issue. But the reality is, we are sometimes not meeting all the needs of the individuals. And so we're now working to change that mindset. We got to close those gaps. And how about this one? Anybody ever seen a car that looks like this? Yes. Anybody know what county department it's from? Right? The sheriff and fire, they're easy, right? These white cars that roll around the county, it says County of Riverside on it. I don't know where they're from, right? Our constituents don't know where they come. And I will tell you, there are often times when a car that looks just like that shows up at the same place, the same time, the same day. We don't know who each other are, right? How do you navigate that? And that's ultimately why our challenge has been this. And I will tell you, I want to give a special shout out to the Corona Chamber team for helping me prepare these slides, but also just to make sure I really wanted to show this one. Anthony sent me an email yesterday. He's like, hey, this slide looks terrible. I think the formatting's off. All these boxes are overlapping each other. No one can tell what you're talking about there. I said, preach, brother. Right? This is the model that we were stuck with. And again, it was not anybody's fault. It was well-intentioned. Right? So much of what happens in Washington, D.C. and Sacramento is anecdotal based, isn't it? Right? We're going to solve problem A, which is great, but then you create a box for problem A. But then problem B looks a lot like A and there's overlap, but never the two shall meet. And I will tell you, it's hard from the county employee perspective to navigate this maze of services. How's it going to be for our residents, for our community members? When the type of services you get depends on which door you walk into, that's a problem. So what is the change? Here's our solution. I've got a short video. Oh, it was really short. All right, let's try this again.
Asking for help isn't easy. Getting it should be. In the past, assistance from the county meant different offices, different forms, and different answers. We asked ourselves, what if it was easier? With Rivco One, you tell your story once, and we listen.
I came to the county for help with my utility bills. I didn't know that Rivco One will help me find childcare, job support, and even healthcare for my family, all in one visit.
It's more than a new system, it's a new promise. We see you, we hear you, we're here for all of you. Rivco One.
What we found is that if we intentionally integrate those services, instead of having the folks at the center of that navigate the services, what if the county works together with that individual, that family, that group, that business in the middle of those services, and we communicate together? We have found that, and we have some anecdotal examples, people will come into one of our clinics for whatever ails them, and Paul Bender, it might even be some of the things you talked about today.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And while they're there, we say, hey, will you take this short survey so that we get a better understanding of it, the whole person health survey. And it gives us an idea of what other needs, what other gaps might be in this individual's life. And while they're at our clinic, we connect them with someone who can actually get them signed up for services while they're there. Not here's a card, here's a website, but take care of them there. We have these stories of people coming out of that meeting into the lobby and calling, say, hey, get down here, the county's giving away services. Yeah, that's the day job, right? So that's kind of what we're working on. So we're, again, trying to work on that together. We have been piloting these projects for the last 2.5, 3 years, and we're now rolling it out. We're adding more departments every day. We're adding more nonprofit partners, more community partners, ultimately to really focus on the individual and the family. So what's the broad aspect of this Rivco One? Full integration and enhanced collaboration. Convenient, comprehensive access. Empowering our employees as change agents. Letting them make the decisions at the front line to help people, as opposed to trying to run it up the flagpole. And they go from program-centered, next door, to person-centered, no wrong door. So I want to make sure I leave some time for some questions, but I wanted to share a parting thought. Who has seen this picture? Right? Who has lived this picture? Who's in the process of living this picture sometimes, right now? The reality is, when we're alone, the challenges sometimes feel real, sometimes overwhelming, right? And it feels like there's almost no hope. You're like, oh, this is fine, right? But the reality is, together, working with not just county departments, but the chambers, community partners, right? When we're all working together, we can keep those challenges at bay. There's something we say in the executive office, the county can do anything, but we can't do everything, right? We need to partner with business. We need to partner with nonprofits, with community members and chambers to make sure we can get there. So before I take questions, I had two more things to raise. One is, go Dodgers.
Yeah!
See if I get the same round of applause for this one. Fight on and beat the Irish.
Yes. All right, let's hear it.
So we have maybe 5 minutes for questions. So Anthony, if someone's going to grab another microphone. If you have a question, stand up where you're at. Quickly.
All right, good seeing y'all.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we're going to go golf. David, you have a question?
I do.
Okay. Here comes the microphone. Dun, dun, dun.
Good morning. Thank you very much for that update on the county. My name is David Marmilla. I represent the Veterans of California. I am the state commander. I reside in California, in Corona for over 30 years. Right now, the veteran community is very concerned on what's happening with our veterans in Riverside County. We just lost a director that was out-the-box thinker, that was somebody that we embraced, that's somebody that really was working hard and passionate. The previous director was kind of stagnant, budget didn't grow. Now we're at the point where we're going to start all over again. So what is the county going to do to address this void that's there? And secondly, how does that look like for our veterans?
So thank you very much for that, David, and thank you for all the work that you do now for our veterans and for your service. So I will first say that there's not a void yet for our veterans. We have an acting director now who has been with the department for more than 8 years and who has been learning from our past director. Sometimes, and this is a fact of life, and I imagine each of you as employers, those of you that are employers, know that you have to make changes for different reasons, right? Some of those things you can talk about publicly, some of the things you can't, right? But I will tell you that the board made the very difficult decision. I made the very difficult decision recently that we had to change our Director of Veteran Services. But I will tell you that the improvements that individual made continue. We're going to take the best of what he's done and continue it and build that as a platform for which we grow on. We've added more offices, we've added more services, we've added more opportunities to connect with our veterans. As you know, we've improved sort of that input process so that folks can actually get some services. We are going to continue with the grant for the justice-involved veterans. We recently received $8 million specifically for veteran services to connect those individuals who are criminally justice involved and help them get services, help them get jobs, help them get housing. So I will tell you, and I know you don't need me to tell you this, Supervisor Spiegel is one of the largest champions we have, not just on the board, not just in Western Riverside County, but across the county for our veterans. Supervisor Washington is a veteran. Supervisor Gutierrez is a reserve with the Guard, right? I had a conversation yesterday with Supervisor Perez about increasing services in the Coachella Valley. And we just added not just an Indio office, we have a Desert Hot Springs office now. So we're continuing to provide services. So I would just want you to know and give us some grace. I know folks were disappointed when we changed the last director. There are some positive things with the new director, and I expect that they'll have continued success with the next director.
Thank you. One more question, anybody?
Well, good morning. So my name's Andy Paskin. I'm CEO of our Vinyl Laminates, and I want to thank Paul Binder for inviting me today. I'm going to ask the big question on the block.
There's a big, just one?
What's the government close down costing you, and how are you going to recover from it moving forward if it moves on? Thank you.
So when you say, the question right here is, what's the government shutdown costing me, or I'm assuming Riverside County? Yep. I will tell you from the county government perspective, we're okay through the end of the month, right? We're open for business. We continue to provide services, human services, medical services, right? The longer this thing drags on, the harder it is for all of us, right? We know that yesterday we participated in a virtual resource fair for federal workers who are not faring as well, right? Yesterday was payday. Not everybody got paid. So we worked with some of our partners in the community to try and make sure that they knew where we could help them, where we could get some of those services. The challenge is what happens on November 1st, right? What happens if, for the sake of just one example, the money from the federal government for CalFresh, one of our social services programs, doesn't go to the state of California? Anybody guess how much money in terms of services CalFresh a month is spent in Riverside County? $65 million. $65 million in terms of people getting services. Remember I told you about the growth of Riverside County? We have 2.5 million people who live here. At least 1 million people get some sort of social services. So we're working with it, right? We're working with our state and federal elected officials to identify how do we fill that gap in the near term. The reality is, and I gave an interview on this last week, you don't care who caused the problem, right? You want government, and that is city, county, state, federal, to solve the problem. So I will tell you it's one of the many, it's just not the one big question, but it's one of the things keeping me up at night, and some discussions that we'll be having in the near term about how do we close that, because the reality is, I know the board is very proud, I'm very proud that over the last 4 years, we have tripled the size of our reserves for the rainy day. It may be raining soon, but how long can we eat out of those reserves, right? With the promise, with the hope that we get paid back from the federal government. And the emergency professionals in the room know hope is not a strategy. So we're working through that.
Thank you. Absolutely. Let's hear it for the CEO of the Riverside County. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Okay, now the microphone goes to Karen.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Something I started talking about at the beginning of the year and got a little bit more in the fall, spring, was what's happening next year. Not I'll shut that down. We are celebrating 250 years as a country. And I mean celebrating. We've had ups and downs, but we've grown and gotten better. We are still the envy worldwide. Whether they accept that or not, they want to be more like us. As your county supervisor, I'm excited to unveil. I'm going to actually share with Bobby because he is as passionate, if not more, but I just want to make sure that it's shorter.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, come over here and get this. No, just a second. I got to do this the right way. Rosemary, would you please stand? Rosemary is a well-renowned artist here in the Riverside County area. She lives in Eastville with her husband, Steve. And she has created a beautiful mural for 250 years. Oh, wow. And our goal is to get this at every county, every chamber throughout the state of California. This is the first one that we're doing, and I had it framed before I had her sign it, so we're going to take it out of the frame. We're going to have her sign it for you. But Jeff, on behalf of Karen and me, we just want to say thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Rosemary, would you come up for the photo with Jeff?
Didn't want to leave you hold it. So thank you very much for that. Very generous, very thoughtful. I was a little worried that you were going to say we need to paint this on the dam.
Karen, you want to get in that photo?
Slide down this way a little bit, please. Please go that way a little bit, please. Thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm here.
All right, guys, right here.
Got it? Thank you. Thank you.
Did you get it, Steve?
Okay. Thank you.
So we're just so blessed. You know, Jeff was asked by a neighboring chamber that has the same name as the county to speak a week ago. And last Friday he came in to give us a slide presentation. He shared with me that he was asked, he says, no, I promised Corona that we would speak first. So this slideshow that you saw